Alright guys, so I found a new sedum plant in one of my customers' gardens. I'm a gardener, and led me to think I've got others in the garden. So I think we've got 4 different types of sedum, and it's the classic one that's okay to grow outside, but you can use inside, and it puts out a flower just before autumn. I'll show you. So I want to propagate these actually. This is a hell of a find, this one, because it's like flower's a bit dead, but it's like a magenta colour, and I'm an absolute sucker for magenta. It'll be tough to propagate though, because all the leaves are eaten to death, and that kind of tells you how tasty they are for the slugs and snails in the UK. And then we've got these sedums, which I hadn't realised we've got any pink ones already, but we do. So it'll be interesting to see what colour those come out as. I think these were propagated from tiny little cuttings originally. I don't remember where they come from. So we've got 2 different types of sedum, 2 of which are pink. And I'll show you the ones we've got in the garden, because we've got a really unusual one which has it's like a reddy dark colour. We'll see it anyway. It survived in the back of my gardening car in the summer for about a month. It almost died, but then I planted it and it came straight back. So, and then we've got the common one. I'll just try and open this door. It's such a difficult door to open. It's very, very old and very heavy. So yeah, follow me. I've just gone out into the garden. That was our conservatory, where we've got all our house plants, and actually I'm just walking past. This whole bed is a nursery where I've put a load of cuttings in, and that cage is a strawberry cage. So we'll just go to the back border. So if we go all along to this section of the back border, this is the most recent one I've been trying to build up, and here they are. Oh, that is interesting. That's a pink colour as well. So I need to get a red one from another customer I know I've got. And this one was down here. That one was the one with the darker leaves, but it's still establishing itself. And the leaves have gone a bit more green. Interesting. I think we've got another one as well. I mean, they're very different. You can see, if we have a look at the difference between the leaves, have a look at this. So these are the leaves off the one I thought had much darker leaves, but they're quite small. And then when you have a look at the common one, you can see they're a lot more jagged and a lot bigger as well. So we could just I'll have to tell you why I'm looking to do this as well. I'm just going to snap this off part way up, so it's still got a bit of stem that can sort of grow out. There we go. I'll leave. No, I'll grab some of this more unusual one, but again, I'll take it halfway up the stem, so we leave a bit of leaf. There we go. So we've got the two different ones from outside, and you can see them together. They're very different. You can see the leaves are a lot darker on one than the other. And I'll just show you where we've got some native ones, because I just go to the other side of the garden. I'm just giving those to the 2 stems to my boy who's following me around. So if we just go through to another side of the garden and find some native ones and have a look. So here they are. Yeah, they look very similar. Oh my goodness, it's huge. I didn't realise it was that big. So if we look at all those stems, oh wow, all of those stems are part of the plant. So we could grab another one. Give me this. And we'll just compare it. It's going to have lighter leaves because it's in the shade, but I mean the flower heads are a lot smaller, and yeah, it is a much different plant. So I will grab one of these. I'll just take the whole stem and not be too worried about breaking anything. Okay, well, let's go back to the plant room. So it does look like we've got 5 different ones there, but anyway, the reason it's a bit tricky getting through here is look, this is the pathway. There's quite a lot in the middle, so we'll just move that out the way. The reason I want to do some propagation with these is that they're so easy to propagate. You propagate them by just pulling the leaves off and just putting the leaves straight into soil. I think that's how we did the little pot in there that had small pink flowers that was yet to come out. But just walking back into our plant room, and if you put the stems that we've gathered down with the others, we can have a look, and I'll just grab a pot. I did have one ready. Oh yeah, here we go. So we'll use this pot with our own soil. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see how these grow and how these sort of shared pots are coming on. We started that. Let's see a video for that one, and all these others actually. That's a baby's bowl, lots of leaves and little baby sedum plants in there. There's a huge variety. Sedum bowl, it's like a house leek sedum type bowl, and then there's a cactus one, and cactus, sedum, and then we've got a house plant baby's bowl down here. It's doing very well. It's got spider plant, devil's tongue, snake plant, and then there's an aloe vera in there, and then this one, I don't know what that one's called, and various other sort of succulents. And there's a cactus pot, and there's a sort of a more grown-up cactus pot down there. But anyway, lots going on, so put us on your radar, subscribe, and you can always go into your subscribers section if we don't show up for a while, and you'll see how this is all growing. Oh, look, monkey's tail, and it's flowering. Don't know if we'll get any seeds off that. Depends if they were germinated and with any others to cross germinate, if that's how they. So do you remember how you did those originally?
So when I was growing, there was a plant sale, and I brought them. At first they were really dead, and then I looked after them in my bedroom, and I kept watering them, and then they came back alive, and I left them grow. Now they've grown for a month or two, and now they're flowering. Nice.
Yeah, you've done really nicely down there. You can see something went wrong with them, can't you? But he's brought them back to life. Incredible. Really good job. So those can be potted up at some point. We don't necessarily need to propagate from those. I just wanted to see the difference between all 4. So if you look, so that's a much darker pink. Gosh, that's going to look quite nice. This one's yet to come out actually. That's from our garden. Okay, well, but if you hold this and just film me, darling, we'll put this pot back. Make a change from the tripod. So we'll focus in on some of these leaves, and all you do is pull off a leaf. These are huge leaves. I'll go further up, actually get smaller leaf. These are still huge leaves. You pull it off as cleanly as you can. That wasn't very clean, because you can still see there's some left on the stem, but it doesn't matter too much, and you just focus on the leaf. Always focus on what I'm doing, darling. You just nestle the leaf in, and it's as simple as that. And so if we have a look at taking another leaf off, you can try different techniques. So that one I tried pulling down. Next I can try pulling from side to side. That's a bit cleaner. And then put it in the pot again. I'll do a few more of these. So, hello. I'll just do a few more of these leaves, especially from each different one, and I'll keep them in sections so you can just video what I'm doing as I do it, and I'll just go through them. We'll do some big ones as well. Why not? Yeah, the big one came off a bit cleaner. And you can really layer them up really close to each other. Make sure they've got a good volume in the ground. I'll just get rid of some leaves that don't look quite so clean. Yeah, that's not come off very well. Took a bit of stem with it. Tidy it up. And they'll do really well, so they can go without water as far as I'm concerned for about a month before they start looking a bit desperate. By then they'll start putting out, so just a few smaller leaves, they'll start putting out roots, and just cram them in and just see how they go. You can look at them in a, I mean, we're going into autumn winter now. Try a different one. So this is a native one that's been in the garden for a very long time, 30 years, just kept growing and growing. Much lighter leaves, much smaller leaves. There's a little bit of damage on that one, should still be okay. We'll see if we can tell the difference between them all when they've sprouted. So make sure you're following us if you want to see all the progress on how everything we're planting is growing and how they end up. We've got a big plant sale we're planning in the spring, so we'll let you know if that's a success or not. But we've got all sorts of things that we're growing and propagating for it, so we'll probably have well over 100, if not 200 plants. Could even end up being more than that. And just a nice way to show the boy how to make a bit of money and just do a constructive activity really with the children. I'll be very excited. Okay, that'll do for that one. So we can always do more. Now this one is the one with the much smaller, darker leaves. That's a bit more unusual. It's even got a flower stem coming off lower down where the leaves are. So we'll just pull a few of these leaves off. You'll see them when they're next to the others. Actually, they're a very different sort of shade and colour. Very different. So it's this one that I kind of want the most of, because I think it's slightly more unusual. So we've got a friend who's a school teacher, and she's said that they don't really have a budget for plants, so we'll be giving some of these to them. And I thought sedum would be a really good one to give them, because they're really easy to propagate, because they can do exactly what I'm doing with all the children, and they'll be able to get, you know, each child to pull a leaf off and put it into a tub, and then once these start rooting, they'll be able to pull them out one by one for each child, and pot them up. And so there's lots of different activities there, and they could, you know, they could easily take one home each. There we go. That one's a bit damaged. There's a big one down there. Just put that in there. A bit more difficult getting these leaves in the ground. A bit softer, and I've got wet hands. There we go. We'll just throw the rest of that down there. We'll probably propagate a bit more from that one. Now this one, the one that I thought was quite unusual, it's got a really big magenta flower compared to the others. The others are a bit smaller and a bit more compact. So if we have a look at all the flowers, some are yet to come out properly, but you can see they all kind of look the same. That's a bit more out and magenta-y. But this one that I just got today, that's the flowers are much bigger, more magenta. Quite like that one, but the leaves are in the worst state. They've been totally eaten. That one's not going to make it. Oh, and I'll show you the other way you can propagate the leaves. The leaves come off really easily and nicely, which is interesting. So we'll shove them in the ground. Let me know if you think they'll propagate or not, even with the big holes in. Make sure you're following us to see what they end up doing. So we've got about 5 leaves, big leaves in there. That one's in a really bad state. Let's try a different one. There's room for one more in there. And actually, I don't know if you can see it, but right in there, you've got to make sure you don't get too close, otherwise it goes blurry. But there's some small leaves in there that we can propagate from as well. And this is the other way you propagate. If you grab some small scissors, do you know where the small scissors are? The sharp ones.
Oh yeah, I was using them for propagating over here.
Well done, thank you. Just so the other way you can propagate these.
Stem.
Just do the stem. So give a nice clean cut. I just pulled these off. So nice clean cut below a root, a leaf node. The leaf node. Oh, that's hard. No, that's too solid.
You need the other scissors that have been more.
What? Careful. Nearly cut myself. Yeah, that's a really solid bit. So cut below a leaf node, that will become a root node. Cut just above a leaf node there. Oh, that's really hard.
What if you have the other scissors a bit more sharper?
So we've got our cutting. You've got to remember which way up it goes. That was the bottom, that was the top. And then again, you can just shove it in the gaps. We're losing the light here, and then you can do another. Well, we've ran out of cutting space, but if we get the others, just back off a little bit and just cut it off below. Yeah. Oh god, cut myself. Okay, I'm gonna stop with these scissors because I'm just gonna damage myself and the plant. And I'll just grab these bigger ones. So they don't give us clean a cut, but I don't think that will matter. Oh no! Wow, that's such a strong. Gosh, that is a strong stem. Well, this is an interesting one because it's got just happens to have a leaf left on it, and so you can do it that way as well. And we'll just shove that in there as well. Find the biggest round space, shove it in the ground, and I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 sort of different cuttings. And I'll just grab the camera off my boy. Let us know how he did on his camera work. How helpful was that? Thank you, darling. We're going to put this in a little place to propagate, and I think maybe on our new shelf back there. And we've got some sedums propagating as well in there. Succulents, sorry. Okay, so we'll see how we do on those sedums, but that's, oh, excuse me. We've had made a load of new plants that can either go toward the plant sale, and we'll need to pot them up for that, or we can give them to our teacher friend. Either way, thanks for watching.